Subscribe to ABN Media Network and become part of our family and learn so many new things.
The wife's attitude and a husband's downfall. When the queen of the house brings her own king down, the entire kingdom collapses quietly. Have you ever noticed how, as men age, their faces lose charm and liveliness? It's not always time or financial stress that does this. More often, behind that dullness stands the very woman who was meant to be his peace, his emotional refuge, and his comfort. A man's bones may weaken with age, but his nerves, smile, and will to live are shaped, nurtured or destroyed, by a woman's behavior. Society looks at tired, dull men and calls it old age, never realizing that the real story lives in kitchens, bedrooms, and courtyards, where daily attitudes either crown a man or crush him. A wife's role goes far beyond cooking, cleaning, or raising children. She shapes her husband's emotional balance, confidence, self-respect, decision-making, and even his mental health. It's a bitter truth, but undeniable. A wife's most powerful weapon is her tongue. A kind word can lift a man's spirit, while a harsh one can shatter it. Every day, a man fights countless unseen battles: office politics, financial pressure, social demands. When he returns home, he doesn't need another battlefield. He needs peace, a face that welcomes him, not questions him, a tone that soothes him, not challenges him. If a woman masters that moment, she can turn her husband from weak to strong, hopeless to determined, old to young again. Sadly, in today's world, many women treat marriage as a contest rather than companionship. Sarcasm replaces kindness, mockery replaces conversation, and arguments replace understanding. It feels as if marriage has become a battlefield where both sides fight to win instead of to live in peace. A wife who meets every sentence with defiance, who sees every decision as a threat, who constantly tries to fix her husband's nature, she forgets that even if she wins the argument, she loses the relationship. When that happens, the husband slowly retreats inward. He stops arguing, but he also stops living. Gentleness and respect in a wife aren't signs of weakness, they reflect nature's balance. A respectful, kind wife turns her husband into a protector, not a dictator, a provider, not a tyrant. She gives him reason to come home proud, not burdened. But when she turns marriage into a power struggle, constantly challenges, commands, or competes under the banner of equality, the home slowly sinks into a swamp where love and respect both die. A woman can transform her husband's life with just a few small habits. A smile in the morning, a word of praise during the day, silence instead of confrontation when he's tired, and dialogue instead of argument when disagreements arise. But if mornings begin with sarcasm, days with complaints, evenings with quarrels, and nights with fights, even a young man turns old, bitter, and lifeless within a few years. A man's youth is not just in his body, it's in his spirit. A man who finds peace at home can face 1,000 storms outside with a smile. But a man who finds disrespect and hostility at home, loses even when he wins the world. Observation shows that men whose wives appreciate them, respect their decisions, and share small joys with them remain cheerful and healthy even in old age. A husband who sees respect in his wife's eyes stays young forever. But one who hears constant bitterness from her lips begins to break inside. Nothing changes a man more deeply than a woman's attitude, not sermons, not arguments, just behavior. Softness, respect, loyalty, and love are the only forces that can melt even the hardest heart. And when those vanish, even the liveliest man becomes a shadow of himself. So here's a question for every wife. If your husband's smile has faded, if he's grown irritable, sick, or withdrawn, ask yourself honestly, how much of that came from the world outside, and how much from your own attitude? Because the truth is simple. It's not the world that breaks a man, it's the woman beside him. Or she's the one who makes him whole. This isn't an accusation, it's a mirror. A reflection of homes everywhere. If a woman wants her husband to stay happy, strong, and full of life, she must water his roots, not cut them every day. If a man is the king of the house, the woman is its soul. And when the soul withers, the kingdom crumbles.